Today we're going to talk about sexy time on Star Trek Enterprise. We'll be getting into the relationship dynamics of some of the main characters, Trip and T'Pol, obviously some other ones, getting into some of the episodes and talking about God knows what.
Bam, chicka,
Guaranteed
wow,
to stay on topic the entire time.
Yeah.
Please stay tuned. It's going to be a great show.
There will be nipples.
Don't false advertise.
Nipply crop.
We'll
There were
get sued.
nipples.
That's how lawsuits
There were
happen.
nipples.
Hi everyone, welcome to Boldly Going Nowhere. I am one of your hosts, Ren Andromeda.
And I am still shell shock, perpetually unemployed Doppel girl.
And I am captain or commander. I think I got demoted. Actually, I got in trouble.
I don't know.
Commander too far.
That's
Well,
right. He was captain too far last week.
I
How do you get demoted but get a promotion?
don't want to.
What
I don't want to talk
happened?
about it.
How's your week been going, Shell? As a unemployed double girl, have you been looking for work or what?
Still looking for love in all the wrong places, and no luck yet on any new gigs. But I did have a date with Crawl, the Denoblian ambassador. But he had more arms than a freaking octopus. So I let him buy me an 8-course dinner, and then I snuck out the window at the restaurant. So
At the airlock?
jettisoned
I blew myself out of the airlock.
The last escape
Nobody
pod.
else is getting blowed.
Stop touching me.
Was it on Deep Space 69?
Deep Space?
69.
Don't Denobulans only have 2 arms?
Yeah.
It's
It's a metaphor.
I think he was a changeling, though.
oh, it just, you know the type. Just hands everywhere all at once.
Still unemployed, though.
Still.
Although they're pretty free-spirited, the Denobulans,
Oh,
right?
they sure are.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
multiple wives and husbands and.
But we'll be getting
Flings
into
and
all
all
that
that.
tonight. This is our episode on, the title of this episode is Sexy Time on Enterprise, where we're going to be getting into the sexiest times on the show Enterprise, the sexiest scenes and relationships between characters. And, yeah, have you guys been doing your homework this week?
Bam,
We
chicka,
have,
wow,
even in our
wow.
sleep, at least in my sleep.
Yes.
I took a nap on the couch and had episodes playing, and so
I was doing my homework while somebody was sleeping.
I have done homework
Okay, yeah,
at some point in the past.
yeah.
At one day,
Yeah, there
In a
was
land.
homework.
Galaxy Far, Far Away. No, it's a different movie.
Yeah, don't do that. You can't cross streams like that.
All right, well, let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with one of our first topics, which is the episode where Trip gets pregnant.
Trip gets pregnant. Okay, so that was. What season was that? Was that a season 1 episode?
Season 1, one of the first episodes,
Oh, was it?
which I believe is called...
What an odd choice for the beginning of season 1.
We should have written this down.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So if I remember right, because I haven't seen this episode in a little while, because I did my homework. Trip, they meet, the crew, right, in the ship,
The crew?
run across, like also in space,
Yeah,
a race that they never met before.
yeah,
They did some kind of exchange, or Trip helped them fix something,
yeah.
or something
They
like
sent Trip
that.
over, right,
And he was hanging out with the girl,
yeah.
and they
It was super hot, by the way.
She is super hot.
Super
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
did they reenact the scene from Ghost? They did something that talked
There
about
was
that.
no pottery.
No
No,
pottery.
no, it was
pottery.
a,
They did
bunch
something.
of rocks.
It had
There's
the magic
a-
sex
Hands in the
crystals.
rocks.
The magic sex
They gotta
crystals.
put their hands in.
Wasn't there like a fancy holodeck thing?
They
and
were in
he's
the
like,
holodeck
ooh,
on a
someday
boat.
we'll have this technology.
Yeah, they're on a holodeck on a boat and with water all around. He's so impressed, and she's got this bowl of rocks, and she's like, "Put your hands in. Put all 4 hands
Yeah,
in."
it works better if you put both hands in.
Yeah.
Trip.
Which is her inseminating him. That's
Yeah. Can we say-
that
can we
episode
say
is
inseminating?
called. Yes, we can, and that episode is called Unexpected. It's
Oh, it's a
fifth-
play on
fifth
words.
episode of the first season.
Because he ends up expecting unexpectedly. You
Yes,
see?
it's
Yeah,
true.
see what he-
Wow.
Huh?
That's good.
That's why nobody pays me the big bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a hot episode. I thought the girl.
So what made it hot though?
Yeah, I mean the alien girl's strangely hot in a weird
But she's
way.
only in it in the beginning and the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the middle, the beginning, the middle, and the end,
What is the part in the middle? Is it
Where
just like
she's
a
in-
phone call?
where she's impregnating him.
Was that the,
Oh,
the beginning?
That's
That
kind of the
happens more
beginning
towards-
because the beginning he goes to fix the ship and she's showing him around. The middle's kind of like where he gets pregnant.
And then they leave.
And then they leave, and then he's like, "Oh my God, I'm like gonna be a mom." And then they have to go back and find them and like be like, "Here, you got to take this baby back."
Yeah.
But he gets all these pregnancy cravings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting
Eating
to
ice
be
cream and pickles
I wasn't expecting to be a working mother, right? I think that's one of the quotes. Yeah,
That's
it's
right.
There's a lot of humor, a lot of funny.
Oh, it's a great episode.
So,
the only sexy part really though is the beginning.
the rock sifting.
The sex rocks.
Yeah, the sex.
What made that
And-
sexy though? Was it the music?
and she's super
Well, I think
hot.
it was that she was impregnating him.
That sexy to you?
Yes.
Impregnation?
Well, Trip is sexy, and that's going to be an ongoing theme in this episode.
Okay, so really it's just all about Trip.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they start the magic sex rocks, she's like, I know what your favorite food is.
Right.
You love catfish.
Oh, it was a mind.
Yeah.
It's mine thing. And then she's like, ask me what my favorite food is. And he's
Yes.
like, you like Dilurian turd
Speckles.
swallow stew.
Yeah.
What?
She's like, "You're right."
I do.
With syrup.
With syrup.
There's an
I
intimacy
prefer
there.
Syrup. There was. It was sensual.
It was very sensual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, yeah. So that was. So, and I'm assuming that, because remember, she's like, I wasn't sure it would work with your species.
Well, yeah, she didn't know that it would happen.
Whether
she
they,
didn't
just
think
whether it was compatible, they were compatible.
I don't think she was trying to impregnate him. I
Well,
think it
I
was
think she
accidental,
was.
right?
Yeah, but like,
I thought
Was
she was.
it?
I thought she was testing him out. Realized that
Well, she
the
wanted
plumbing worked,
she wanted the intimate experience,
and she had, obviously.
but I don't think that the child was an accident.
Have you?
I
have
mean,
I
it
remember
sounds
right.
very much like just human interactions.
she wanted some of
Yeah.
those. Trip,
Whoops! I fell into you.
I don't know. I think she wanted some of those trip genetics. I mean, come on.
So okay,
That yeah.
that trip
non-sexy
DNA.
question related
Yeah.
to
Okay.
the sexy topic. What is it about Star Trek men being deadbeat dads?
Everybody got this. It's
I'm
like maybe
seeing
it being like a
Picard,
military guy or
Worf.
something. It's like you're devoted
else?
to this thing.
The only two that aren't are on that I can think of, anyways, are on Deep Space Nine.
Tuvok.
Cisco,
Cisco.
who the actor prided himself on like portraying a very strong bond
Mhm.
between him and his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, being a single father.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
fantastic.
Not Tuvok.
Tuvok's good, but he's
No,
never there.
He's never there. Well, of course, his
No.
kids are all grown. He's got.
No,
His-
they're not all grown in Voyager.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because he's when
Maybe you're
by the
right.
time he gets to Voyager, he's like over 100.
Okay, you're probably right. Yeah, he was on the
I
old
thought they were
Enterprise.
Something
younger.
like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And O'Brien is not a deadbeat dad.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Brian.
Who are the other deadbeat dads?
Worf is
Worf.
a
Worf's
shitty
terrible.
father.
He's the number one
Yeah,
deadbeat
he's
And
dad.
terrible.
clearly Trip.
Yeah, Trip.
Yeah, Trip.
Just because he
He-
gave the baby back?
Gave the baby
Yeah,
up.
it's too much
Never
work.
talked to her again.
I got other.
Didn't even pay her.
Yeah.
True.
I
With
got
no child support.
I got other magic sex rocks to
But she
touch.
impregnated him. But okay.
It takes two,
It takes
right?
Any
Yeah.
other deadbeat dads?
Any others? Just
Patrick
Kirk,
Stewart.
Captain Kirk.
Kirk. Yeah, Kirk's a deadbeat
Terrible
dad.
father.
Picard's just generally terrible with children.
He has
Picard.
a
Yeah.
He's not a dad.
He
but
has
he's
a
just
dad.
terrible.
No, he
he
is.
has a dad.
Is he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, in Picard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right. Okay. Well,
That's
you're
not,
right,
That was
it is
not
a-
totally his fault because Beverly kept it from him.
yeah.
That's so mean. He was pretty. He was one of the characters that wasn't horrible on.
There's got to be
Picard.
others.
Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk about one thing right now. Number one, as someone that's been pretty much a lesbian my whole life,
Mm-hmm.
Trip Tucker really does it for me.
It does.
Really
Yes.
does it for me.
I think he universally does it for everyone.
Really? Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
true?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about him, but I would gladly become heterosexual and marry Trip Tucker.
Even if only temporarily.
No.
You mean
No,
No,
you
not
said marry.
temporarily.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
temporarily and permanently.
Permanently.
I would just give up my whole gay life.
Gay lifestyle.
lifestyle.
Wow.
And just throw it all away.
Is there anybody else that like
like on TV
that you go straight for, or is it just Trip Tucker?
Pretty much just Trip Tucker.
That's amazing.
I mean, there's been maybe 2 other men, but I've in my life I've been that attracted to, but none that I'm like, oh yeah, no, I would just he would be it.
Yeah, fluff my ovaries.
Well, sure.
Sure. I mean, that's what we're really talking about here.
Well, now that you put it like that,
I mean,
I guess.
Well.
I'd let him rearrange my innards.
I'd climb his Jeffrey's tube.
Jeffrey's tube.
Jeffrey and his tube.
I think it's because he's such a gentleman. He's such a gentleman. He's got that southern gentleman thing.
Yeah, he's got that.
You know.
Well, darling.
He always says like, Captain, I swear it was a perfect gentleman. I swear to God.
I swear to God, Captain, I was a perfect gentleman.
Yeah, he says it a couple times.
That's pretty.
So let's go to the Riza episode.
And he's wholesome.
That's why I like him, because it makes me want to chase.
Yeah,
you know,
very wholesome.
If he was like kind of a, like, I don't know, pervy skeevy guy, I'd be like,
He tried
on Riza. I know. So let's get into that.
Let's talk about Riza.
Okay.
So, I don't remember what season this is, but they maybe
Find out
2.
for you.
But they get a couple of days of shore leave, and Trip and Malcolm buddy up and go onto the planet. Hoshi goes onto the planet, and
there
Captain
was a
Archer.
lottery.
Okay, 2 days and 2 nights, episode 25 of season 1.
Oh, okay. So it's at the end of season 1. Presumably other characters also went down because there was like a whole, but nobody cares. So they just showed the adventures of those 2. And that opening scene when they're on Riza and they've panned to the bar, right? And they're already on planet or whatever, and they've got their leisure suits
like
on.
Miami Vice suits on.
Like, oh my God, I died laughing. Because I hadn't seen it in forever, and I watched it this morning. And,
and that whole cringy exchange.
Yeah, I guffawed. And then they're just being so skeevy.
Yeah.
Because they're like, how about that one? How about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that one has a pronoun. I'm like, oh, this is so
It was
bad.
And presumably they're showing, because they didn't show any of the aliens that they're pointing to. Presumably they're a little bit more weird looking aliens.
Yeah, like which eye are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like look at her eyes. Which
I don't
know,
think
the
that
third
one's a
one's
she.
freaking me
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
The third one's freaking me out.
But what I like about that episode is that when they're going down the shuttlecraft and all the guys are like so excited about getting laid and Hoshi's like whatever, and they're like making fun of her because she's just gonna go down there and learn a language, and then she ends up getting laid and none of them do.
Yeah.
No.
It's just great.
No, they get rolled.
They do, yeah.
They get rolled.
They get mugged basically. By
these two,
so how does that happen?
Yeah, these two hotties like, hey, can you buy me a drink in space?
I mean, this is your area of expertise.
Oh, it is. You know how it goes. You're like, hey, big boy, it's your first time to rise up. What did you say?
do you want to get
Do you want to see the subterranean garden?
What is it called?
Right?
When you what is the term for Riza? You're something.
Your pleasure tour operator. I don't remember.
Jamaharat.
Jamaharat. Is that your pleasure?
Jamaharan.
Pleasure priestess.
They have the like statues, and if you're seeking Jamaharan,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
That was in
Is it new next
TNG, and
TNG.
I think Deep Space Nine when they
because
go
they
to
gave
Riza.
because Picard had the thing, right?
Yeah.
And when he didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Jamaharan. Basically, it means one of the staff
Down DT
women that work on the planet. You're gonna bang one of the staff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
Your DTF.
Your DTF.
Yeah, and so she's all like, "Come see my underground subterranean garden," and what that kills me is like they open this door, and it's like, this cobweb covered like they're going down to this dark murder cellar.
Yeah.
They're like.
This
like,
seems legit.
This seems legit. I can smell the flowers already.
I mean, they do kind of question it, but like, they're following the tail.
Yeah. And then and then they turn into some other aliens, like
I don't
they're
know.
changelings
Raise
or
that
something.
Yeah,
word.
they're some kind
Or
of.
something. that
Yeah, I
can
don't know if it was
morph.
a camouflage.
Like a
But they were
camouflage,
using
not
like
changelings.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
using some kind of
Or
device or something to
maybe,
scramble.
and they
their
didn't really
parents,
explain
maybe.
it. I
No.
mean,
They
because they
didn't explain it.
morphed, like shapeshifted
No.
and morphed.
But we do get
But
Trip.
it was dudes. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it was
They're both
dudes.
dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We
why
do-
why couldn't they have gotten mugged by women aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we
You
should
know?
we should write Paramount.
Women can.
Write a letter.
I mean, I've never mugged anybody.
But you've taken advantage.
I mean, no.
But we get Trip and Malcolm in his underwear. I'm not that excited about. He
No.
does have a nice body, but Trip in his underwear is pretty
Yeah.
good.
That's a good view.
Not bad.
It's funny though, because they get like so embarrassed. It's not like they're hiding their Franks and beans behind a tiny pillow
Well,
as they're walking back through, the main, whatever esplanade on Ryza.
Right.
so
they
yeah,
look like shorts. They're wearing like shorts and a tank top, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't-
yeah, the reason for that wasn't the outfit.
Mm.
It was because, well, for starters, after they got stunned and knocked the F out,
Yeah.
and the aliens stole all their clothes and whatever possessions they had, presumably a communicator or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And tied them up, left them in the basement, and they were basically there, stuck, until they had to leave. Because they were still, and then the way that they broke out was, they made a mention of, they had to break a bottle or something to get the glass to cut the rope. This all happens off camera. But when they're walking through, it's not the outfit, it's that they're covered in the whatever it was, it spilled all over them, and it stinks.
Oh,
And
I
so
missed
as
that.
they're walking through, it's not that they look weird, it's that they smell bad.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
I missed that too.
And so these girls are walking by and they're like, oh, what is that?
Mm. And then
that
Archer's
makes
got
more
some
sense.
stuff going with like
Yeah.
a woman next to him. There's a whole story there.
That was interesting. Yeah, so she was his neighbor, his
Neighbor.
downstairs neighbor,
At the
the
hotel. or
sultry
something.
blonde.
Yeah.
And,
Who was in an episode of Deep Space Nine as one of Odo's love interests, but as a separate character.
oh, interesting. I didn't make that connection. And she
Yeah.
has this awful Chinese crested Chihuahua.
I hit it.
Oh my gosh.
No.
And so she, arranges for her.
I mean, with like a fly swatter.
Her
That's what I meant.
Oh, so I'm the pervert.
So you hold down the pigeon and all. Never mind. Yeah, so she sets her mean little dog on Sophocles or what else?
Porthos.
Porthos.
So that's actually a good question. So because he asked, how did you get up here? And like, given where the story goes, I wonder if she put the dog up there
Probably.
and then played coy later.
Yeah, because she was she was like.
But they didn't hook up at all, these two.
Because she was a secret spy pumping him for
Well,
information.
that'll do it.
Yeah.
No.
I don't even think he got to,
No, he didn't.
I don't think so.
Not from what we saw.
I don't remember what ended up
There
giving
might
it.
have been a handy.
What
or
ended
something.
up giving it away?
A what? What do you call it?
A handy?
A space
A
handy.
handy.
A
Yeah.
handy.
A handy.
Handy.
Yeah,
Handy?
no,
Okay.
the boys call them
Um,
handies.
Well, we missed that part.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was off
That
camera.
was in the
Let's
the director's cut.
That's why you needed such a big breakfast.
let's
first-
skip
wait a
ahead
minute.
to the Ponfar episode.
Well, hold on.
No.
I got to talk about Risa a little
all right.
bit.
All
Well.
right. Well, let's go back to Risa.
So, Risa is shown a couple of different times, and they always show like really small communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
From
so-
series to series, you mean?
From series to
Yeah, yeah.
series, right? Even on Enterprise, it's like this beach resort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
Beachfront resort.
Yeah, Space Caribbean.
So I'm thinking that Risa, the whole planet, it's not really a pleasure planet. That's just the reputation it has, right? But it's like Mexico or something. You got all these like resorts where all the money is, and then like the rest of the planet is like kind of pissed off and bitter. Like all these outer space people come in and like
Normies.
ruining their environment and
Like retirees, like going to Fort Lauderdale or something.
something. Yeah. And I imagine too that there's like a whole bunch of pissed off rising dads. Because their daughters like I'm gonna go to Vegas and like make my mark as a Risa girl or whatever, right? Whatever they call
Dads
these
of
resorts.
rising girls.
Yeah,
That'd be a good name for something.
Yeah.
RG,
maybe.
RG, Drarg.
Yeah, there you go.
Dorg.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because and then like presumably these Ryzen girls, they go through this. It's like college or something. I don't know what it is, like Ryzen college. This is their internship.
Porn college.
They have to be like a call girl, a Ryzen call girl for a while, and it's not just girls, it's guys as well.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and they unionize.
And then when they age out, because they're not pretty anymore, then they go do their normal job.
Which is like to be an archaeologist or something.
Yeah.
That would insinuate a really seedy underbelly to Ryza.
Exactly.
Because
Like
you
think
think
about it.
uses these poor Ryzen girls up and
Well, young Ryzen, I'll say
puts
young
them
Ryzen
out.
people, right? They put a lot of focus on the girls
there's
because
plenty of Cabana boys on Ryza too, I'm sure. It's
Yeah,
not just
exactly.
an equal opportunity debauchery.
Maybe
Right.
some non-binary too.
Yeah.
But you're saying that they come from other planets, like.
not other
And, like,
planets,
same planet.
other areas of Ryza.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because Risa, I think, was set up to. It was like a dead planet that they created. They like terraformed and
But the
created
people there
an
are
artificial
natives.
weather system.
Oh, yeah.
Are they though?
Yeah,
How do
you can
know
tell
that?
because they have stickers on their heads.
No.
Yeah, that's how you know.
Are they
that they're-
born with a sticker on their head?
Well, they must be because even in this Enterprise episode, there was the older couple.
Right, but they just moved there. They're just like, we just wanted to retire.
But they're Ryzen people. They have the stickers on their heads.
It's true. It's
That
just
doesn't mean what you're saying.
it does.
Though.
Remember Hoshi has that
Your
chat
logic is flawed.
with the older couple, right? And she's like, oh, they're like, what are you
Right,
doing?
but what I'm saying is they were like, say they were on Earth and they're
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let's buy a condo in Ryza.
Right.
So now we're Ryzen.
Yes.
And we'll put a sticker on our head.
Yes, it says we're the Ryzen
Because
people.
this was like a desert planet before. Like, there's nothing here. We're not.
I don't
There's not
think-
generations back from Ryza.
No, I don't think that's the case. Specifically because on this episode of Enterprise, no Earth ship had ever been there before.
No?
Okay, well, yeah, not in Earth. I was just saying Earth because I couldn't think of another planet.
Oh, I see.
It's
Changing
like-
your story now.
But more importantly,
Yeah.
why did Hoshi's man meat have the Cardassian vagina
They all
ridges?
have a vagina forehead.
The
on Star
vagina,
Trek.
Yeah.
ridges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, those prosthetics get
I
worse.
think-
Did you think that guy was hot? Her man meat? Hot or not?
I mean-
yay or nay?
Nay.
I'm gonna go with yay just because he was nice
Yeah,
and she
he's
could.
He was nice,
Yeah.
sure, but
You wouldn't bang
hotness?
him on a weekend
No,
getaway?
I
He
wouldn't.
had pretty brown eyes. I didn't like.
I mean,
like
maybe
brown
his
eyes.
forehead.
Just the,
just
Just
the
forehead.
ridges.
just
the
the
ridges.
vaginal head.
The
forehead.
yeah.
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 Right, well, I like that they came back and the guys were just in their underwear smelling bad and Hoshi
Yeah.
had just gotten laid and she just didn't say or mention a word
Mhm.
to anybody. Which
Yeah.
is pretty
Yeah,
badass of her.
Because Archer also got shot, or not shot, but like he got
Poisoned.
Yeah.
poisoned and knocked out.
Scratched him.
So he was kind of embarrassed and like
Mm.
frustrated, and the other guys were embarrassed and frustrated.
She just had a great weekend.
Yeah, Hoshi won.
Hoshi's like kind of, they should have done more with her character, I feel like.
She was so underutilized.
She's underutilized and she's like actually I think hotter than T'Pol.
She is.
You think so?
And
I think so
yeah,
because
she's-
I think she's like warmer and I think T'Pol's just like
She's a more natural pretty.
yeah, T'Pol's just like extremely emotionally unavailable
But
and
T'Pol
he makes
has
that prettiness with such a coldness and it just turns me off. There's like nothing there.
She's just got these beautiful, delicate elfin features.
Who would you rather get with T'Pol or Trip?
Oh, it's definitely Trip.
Are we talking long term
Really?
or short
I
term?
thought you said T'Pol.
She
T'Pol
is.
before.
Oh, but
This
I like
is a
them
surprise
both.
to me.
I don't know, because you've worn me down with all of your Trip.
It's my fault.
See,
Yeah,
the-
your
the-
Connor
It's
Trinneer.
my fault. Now we have
Yeah.
to fight for
Yeah, Connor
our
Trinneer.
man, or we're gonna have to have a threesome.
Our Connor Trinneer fan club.
It needs to be the F Mary kill game.
So it's like
Oh.
we have Hoshi and T'Pol and
Trip.
Trip. Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
tough.
Well,
that's
that's
tough.
who wants to go first?
Well, in my case, if it's those three characters,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with F to Paul, marry Hoshi, and I have to kill Trip.
Oh.
That's just my, you
Okay,
know,
I get it.
I would feel bad because he's like, you know,
He's
I
a
feel
nice
like we
guy.
could be buds, but
You're just like Archer killing Trip or killing Sim.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd kill the shit out of Sim.
Mm.
So what about you?
I would of course marry Trip, kill T'Pol, and bang Hoshi. And I would marry Hoshi too. Like she'd be second runner up because she seems like she'd be like a
like
really decent partner.
Denobulin's second wife.
But on the other, you know what? I might actually change this. I would marry Hoshi and bang Trip. And
still
kill
kills
T'Pol.
that would be more
a better
in line.
fit.
Yeah.
Because this like heterosexual thing is fleeting. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
Who am I kidding?
That's
Especially
fair.
as he ages, I'm gonna want sexy Hoshi. So.
Well, yeah, because she'll stay pretty forever.
Forever.
Until she'll hit the.
You're just gonna say something awful.
What are you
just
gonna
do not
just,
know.
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
No.
Don't say it.
Ageist.
Okay, you go.
Thank you.
To be fair, I heard that from a stand-up comedian. It was stolen material.
Commander, too far.
Yeah.
I was about to go too far.
Too far.
All right.
This is a tough one for me. I would have to let T'Pol F me. That counts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
I'm sure some pressure.
oh man, but then I have
Something.
to choose between killing Trip or Hoshi?
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair either.
Just because you want to
Sorry.
fuck T'Pol that much, that
I
means you
mean,
can't kill her.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Hoshi, you're gonna have to die. And then,
Oh,
Yeah.
Shell!
I mean, you know,
You're gonna marry Trip?
I feel like he would be, he'd be dependable. He'd be around when, in your old age to like rub your feet and other things.
Yeah, you're
and
right. He'd be a lot better
Right?
than Hoshi.
he'd
I'm changing my mind.
No, don't change. You can't
know,
change your mind.
God damn
No
it.
take backs.
He'd keep your Jeffries tube all nice,
All
all
lubricated
lubricated and
and closed out.
Yeah, running.
Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube your Jeffries tube.
Jiffy Lube my
Trippy Lube.
Jeffries tube.
Trippy lube my tube.
Hey,
Jiffy
darling.
Lube.
Hey, darling. Yeah. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
final answer.
All right. Well,
Well-
let's jump ahead to the Ponfar. You ready?
Ponfar.
Who wants
Is that
Which
a synopsis? Okay, T'Pol goes into Ponfar and Phlox is a perfect gentleman, and that's where I really had a lot of respect for Phlox.
there's that one.
forced
Not
the induced Ponfar because
Yeah.
of the bacterial infection or whatever it was.
Yeah, and they're in the decon chamber, and it's a very sexy situation, and she's starting to fucking lose
How
it.
many times?
unraveled.
Yeah.
How many times did T'Pol get gelled up? Down in her
I don't
underwear
know.
get gelled up?
3 or 4.
Because in
Was she
the
getting gelled up?
yeah. Because
remember
like
her
the
being
very,
too
I want to say it happened in
She
the
was-
very first episode,
she was
right
sweating.
in the pilot.
With Trip
Yeah.
and T'Pol, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
then-
how they introduced the decom chamber was like
Decom.
Them lubing each
decom-
other up.
decom-
There's another one with Malcolm and Hoshi and T'Pol, and they're just sitting in there.
a three-way.
They're just kind of sitting in there like a sauna, like they don't
That's what
wanna
you
get
see on
out.
camera, but let's be real.
Sure. And then there's Phlox and
Phlox and T'Pol.
There's
Yeah.
probably more. There's Archer and T'Pol.
Yeah.
They have some.
So that's at
they have
least-
some shit too. Archer and T'Pol got some shit going on. So
Off
they've
and
got-
on tension.
Yeah. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. Nothing happens with it, but yeah.
No.
So and then Torny T'Pol escapes
Yeah.
the room.
Yeah.
And she starts running amok
Yeah.
In her underwear.
in her underwear in a
Yeah.
little crop top.
Yeah.
For science.
I think one of the cutest things on Enterprise is T'Pol's belly button.
She has amazing abs.
She's got like a little
Amazing.
outie.
Amazing abs.
I
Pretty
guess
pretty
so.
adorable.
Yeah.
I never noticed it.
How could you not notice
Seriously?
that? You're the cut. You
Call
should
yourself-
have.
I'm
Star
not.
Trek
I'm not
fan.
into T'Pol. I think she's emotionally unavailable.
She is emotionally unavailable.
I don't like it.
I don't really care about her emotions.
Fair.
I mean, she's Vulcan. You know, for a Vulcan,
True. They're all emotionally
all
unavailable.
the Vulcans on Enterprise are really emotional. Pretty much.
I was just thinking of Sarek and Jenny Schechter, who is Sarek's wife. Amanda
Yeah.
is
yeah.
played by the woman who plays Jenny Schechter from the L Word,
Mhm.
which is
Yeah, I
huge
don't
in
know
like
that.
queer culture. The L Word. Gotta get you
Lesbian-
going on that.
lesbian romance
Lesbian,
show.
Yeah, back in the day.
Are there spaceships?
Yes.
You're lying
No.
to me.
Yes.
No,
So many-
but it's kind of amazing that she played kind of like a terrible person in this show, and she plays such an amazing person as Amanda in Discovery. That's off topic. Sarek is kind of a good dad, and it warms my heart. So that's all I want to say about him.
But yeah, for not supposed to have been emotional. The Vulcans are pretty emotional.
But it's like they're trying to hold. They're like repressing. They have so much emotion. They're trying to hold it back. They're trying to repress it. They have so much, but they really are like presenting that they don't.
They're not. They don't do a great job all the time.
They don't. Yeah.
No.
There's some. Yeah.
I mean, when they speak, they try to keep it fairly monotone, but the expressions. I mean, it's all like
But that's
now,
why.
granted, like in Paul's case, she's a hot mess through like the entire series. She
Yeah.
goes through a lot of stuff between the well, there's the whole Ponfar thing which we were just talking about, which is really just an excuse to see Paul run around trying to jump on
Sweating
in her underwear.
Yeah, she's all sweaty.
Begging to be fucked.
Right.
She does beat up Malcolm, which is kind of great.
Yeah.
She kicks his
anytime
ass.
Malcolm gets his ass kicked,
It's a good day. Sorry, Malcolm.
Sorry.
And then she contracts the
That disease.
Oh yeah, but from her fourth
Pavel.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
From
disease.
The mind meld.
from the non-consensual. She's basically, I know she was. I don't. You can't say that. We don't say that word.
She had a
She was
non-consensual mind melt. Yeah, assaulted. Yeah.
Assaulted.
Yeah.
Which seems like that would be. Oh, that episode was super visceral.
That was.
I was just like imagining how, like what that would be like, and it does not sound like a good time.
Yeah.
Somebody in your psyche unwillingly. That would mess anybody up.
She went through a lot in the show. But yeah, Phlox was a perfect gentleman, and that made me really, really respect him because he could have. If he was creepy, like for one sentence or one line, I was watching for it.
Yeah, you're waiting.
And he never was. He was just like, "You're sick, and I'm gonna treat you." And I was like, "Wow, he has such integrity. Like that's amazing. He's just an amazing character."
How many doctors would make the same choice?
Well, how does that episode resolve? No, Bashir's
not Julian.
He's a creep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least not early Bashir. They did a better job with him in later.
Julian matures.
He does date a couple of his patients.
As you do.
As you do when they're coming out of kind of a vegetative state or whatever.
Exactly. It's like a community service, really.
It's not like they had other options.
On Deep Space Nine.
Or because they'd been in a coma.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
He likes to take women that don't know who they are and date them.
I've been asleep for the last 30 years.
You're my type.
Super,
women who have no idea.
any type is my type at that point.
Yeah. Who or what they are.
Oh, just clean out my cobwebs, Julian. Dust my attic.
Okay, let's go to the cogenitor episode. Now that's where Trip gets attached to this third gendered person who's kind of hot.
That
was sort of a disturbing, sad episode. And I don't know if they had a romantic thing. But do you remember, Chris? I don't know if they had a romantic thing between them.
No, I think
it was the precursor of one.
Yeah, it kind of was. I think.
Yeah, I think there was more of an emotional connection in that case.
Definitely.
But yeah, I thought that episode was a sweet episode.
But it's so far ahead of its time.
I know.
I think they took on a really difficult topic, and what it made me think of was the gay deprogramming, camps and all of that, especially in the South. That was super big, right? All in the 90s, right? To pray the gay away and all that stuff, and that's what that planet kind of reminded me of, is that they had taken such this huge control over, this idea that they could only be one way.
Well, they have this third gender in that
right.
episode, and the third gender helps the other two genders procreate. And the third gender has to go around to couple after couple and provide some kind of fluid.
Maybe I'm thinking about the Riker episode.
Yeah, you're thinking
Sorry,
of TNG.
yes. No, totally.
Yeah, the thing with the third gender one was that they treated them as lesser. They were basically de-beinged them. I don't know, but based on whatever the race is, basically dehumanized them. Wouldn't educate them. Wouldn't let them have a career or do anything like that. Their sole purpose was, in a forced way, to just do this one function.
Basically,
for society.
to go in the bedroom with couples.
Right.
Week after
a
week.
fluffer?
Month after month.
See, I don't think. Yeah, I know I've seen it. I've seen them all, but I didn't watch this one as my homework.
It's interesting. I mean, because we have, you could say, we have intersex folks that are not within the binary gender system.
So do they portray them as a kind of intersex?
They don't really go into details.
They don't go into that,
because like they didn't try to design all the biology. They just wanted to really get onto the social topics, which is the way to do it, really.
They sound like they're slaves, sexual slaves.
Basically,
That's why he was
yeah,
so mad.
yeah.
That's why Trip was so mad about
Yeah,
it.
because
gosh, I don't remember this at all.
I want to say like even when they were first introduced, because Trip wouldn't even have known that there was a third gender, but the couple that he was interacting with for whatever he was interacting with for, like talking engineering or whatever it was, like, oh, we're trying to have a baby. This is our progenitor, and he tries to like introduce himself or have a conversation or something like that, and they're like, no.
Don't talk
we
to
don't,
it.
We don't talk
You
to
don't
it.
engage.
It doesn't need to read or
It's coming back to me
Yeah,
now.
yeah. And so they
Okay.
started having secret meetups, right?
Yeah.
And so he was trying to teach them things.
Yeah, like how to read or watch
Yeah,
movies
yeah.
or
So where was
whatever.
Archer in on all this? Was
Archer
he
gets mad because
He got in
Trip is
trouble.
interfering.
the prime directive
Yeah.
or whatever?
Well, they didn't have the prime directive.
Yeah, it wasn't
back
called
then,
that.
Right?
It was General Order 1, right? Isn't that what they
Yeah,
called
it's
it?
pre-Federation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our Enterprise.
Actually, you're right.
Enterprise
So they don't
is-
even call it General Order 1. They just...
Yeah, they're just. It's
They just say don't
Enterprise
do
is they're
that.
just out there, the first humans out there.
Yeah.
Just
So
doing
yeah,
their
so
thing.
then I don't know anything, Like, why is Archer automatically slavery's cool? This is
And
fine.
Archer does interfere in quite a few things himself.
Well, because it's
Selectively,
like...
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because he's not totally wrong, but it's like, who are we to, like, interfere with their culture, their society, whatever. It's
Yeah.
not our job to fix things based on our view of
Mhm.
morality.
I always
right?
had that.
True.
Always had such a tough time with that, though. I mean, they're not wrong, but at the same time, it just there's a that whole General Order 1 Prime Directive requires a level of callousness
Yeah.
that
Sometimes
Yeah.
they run into that a lot.
Yeah.
So how do you think? All right. So going back to the three genders thing.
Yep.
Because it's not really explained, how do you think it actually works?
The three genders.
The three
thing?
genders.
Well, it just works because the male and female need another fluid
You think that's what it is?
or an egg or something.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're actually
Does because the third gender doesn't carry the child.
No, they
It's just like a
provide
conduit.
something that the
Do
other
you think
two
it's like,
need.
I catch something in this hand, I catch something in this hand, and go,
Well, you can get anyone. She could do that.
Did
as
you
a
just
Dabo
toss
girl.
it? Did you just
Shelly, you could get some extra work doing
as a
that.
Dabo girl?
Yeah.
yeah,
I
just
could
like,
be a flinger.
you could be
You
a
could be a-
progenitor.
You could be a progenitor where you just,
just
take two things and
Go
rub
around
them
together
together.
and then
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe we could.
And then do you?
Yeah.
We could find a website where they're posting gigs for that.
I mean, it's better than the selling feet pics like I was doing last week. So
Whose feet?
wouldn't you like to know?
All right. Do you guys want to jump to the Mirror Universe or Sim?
No, I stopped watching the Mirror Universe ones because it's a 2-part, and he didn't use this. He didn't get a chance
I've
to
Can
seen
see
we
them
it.
all.
can we
I
just
think
talk
we
about
do
the
a-
crop tops
a
really
whole-
quick?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Anytime.
All
we
right.
crop
That
top.
speaking, well, go ahead.
That's all I have to say about them.
Crop.
That was it.
They are cropped tops.
Crop.
They are
Crop
crop tops.
Yeah. You guys have
Um,
anything
And Hoshi
The-
was
sexy?
very amorous.
Oh yeah, Hoshi
Yeah.
gets it
I
on.
didn't finish. I didn't finish that.
No, it's supposed to stop
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's a 2-parter. So I
So-
figured we should do a whole episode just on.
All right, we can do another.
Let's put that on
Yeah.
our.
But as far
as- Put it on the list.
Yeah.
As far as in the context of this episode, yeah, Hoshi definitely makes it happen in a bedroom sort of way.
Really?
And speaking of Hoshi winning,
Spoilers.
I won't say anything else.
I mean, I think that our fans.
Yeah, but have you seen it before?
Well, yeah, I always I watched Enterprise like several
Yeah,
times,
Sam,
but
but
I
you
always
just
skip
forget.
I
Yeah.
skip the Mirror Universe
Really?
because I fucking hate the Mirror
Really?
Universe
Okay,
episodes.
we're doing a whole episode on all Mirror Universe.
Right, that's what I want to do.
I'll watch them.
What was the one we were asking earlier? If it had a mirror universe?
Voyager.
We know,
Did Voyager?
Voyager.
have? I don't
No,
think so.
I don't
I didn't think so.
All of the other series
T
did.
and G does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I skipped
yeah.
it.
Deep Space Nine
Deep Space
does.
Nine, I skipped
does
those.
TNG have a Mirror
Yeah.
Universe?
Doesn't it? Oh, OG Star Trek does.
No, I know. In fact, speaking of
Oh.
crop top,
Oh, it's
Uhura
so
and, like,
good.
Mirror Universe crop top, like,
And-
oh my god.
Right.
And
she's
Spock.
fit, right?
She's super.
got, like,
so
major
so
abs.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Spock
She's
was super
badass.
He in
sexy.
a crop top too.
He was.
Should've been.
He was, yes, he had this.
That would have been great if like all the
It was
men's
evil.
uniforms were cropped.
Yeah,
tops,
that would
too.
be
Evil
great.
Spock, evil sexy Spock.
Yeah.
I had such a crush on him.
It was so 90s though, with like, I guess it was like early 2000s, but
Early
like
2000s.
So did,
T'Pol and her long hair. It's like, what is that? She's Vulcan. Vulcan
Yeah, it
has
was
long
bleach
hair.
blonded. Yeah,
Like highlights.
She
or
was-
yeah,
something.
it wasn't great.
No.
but I just want to say, and now I feel terrible because I don't. What is her name in real life? T'Pol.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like-
She doesn't act anymore.
She's not really.
Well, so what little I've been able to find online, because I was really curious the first time I watched Enterprise
Yeah.
years ago when I moved here, like where did she go? And
Yeah.
there's at least some online chatter that suggests that she just was not happy with her experience on the show. She wasn't happy with. She felt like she was over sexualized.
Jolene Blalock.
Jolene Blalock. That's right.
It's probably Blaylock.
Blaylock, Jolene Blaylock. Yeah, and so that
And she's not wrong.
she's not wrong, not at all. I mean, of course, we're all just sitting here talking about how like it is.
Yeah, I don't
it
want to be
is.
a downer, but
It is.
yeah,
it is
was-
reductive. Yeah.
That Star Trek actors only work with Star Trek. That's like their main thing. Typecasted. Is that what you're talking about?
No. Just that. I mean, there's other. Look at B'Elanna. Is a good strong female character. That she's also sexy, but her character is really well rounded, and it's not a constant focus on how smoking hot she is.
Right.
Whereas with T'Pol, I mean, the way they dressed her, the way they, it was overtly.
They could have done more with character development with her.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
just, less
And part of it was-
skin-tight jumpsuits, and not that I minded them.
I
but-
think what happened is, well, partially at least, the producers saw the success of Jerry Ryan on Voyager,
Yeah,
and
7 of 9.
and said, yeah, sex sells, which it does.
Yeah.
And so then
Well,
they're
and Star
like,
Trek's always had beautiful, sexy women.
well, sure, but it's not Enterprise, as we've kind of gone through, and there's so many others. But Enterprise definitely ramped it up. Not every episode or anything, but like had more storylines where adults are adulting and like getting together, hookups, and like there's all these like romantic things going on. And from a visual standpoint, more like the decontamination room.
Yeah.
Like that's just completely unnecessary.
It's
from the
just a
story.
bunch of eye candy, basically.
It really is.
Right, and so
I
I
mean, you
can,
can-
Which
Yeah.
I don't mind, strangely.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
that's
But
what-
I could see as an actress, we were just like,
When it's like, fuck, I'm
come
gonna get,
on, yeah.
I guess.
I'm gonna get the sebum
To
gel
be
on me again.
To
Yeah.
be objectified.
Yeah, totally. And
But
then
it's still like kind of cool in a way. Like I don't think it's all objectification for me. Like it still seems kind of sci-fi and like interesting.
No, I agree. I could just see that, that was
They're
the only
skirting a
rumor I've been
line.
able to find was that she was just unhappy with that
Yeah.
aspect of it. And then I think she got married, started a family, and
that's what I heard too.
and then never returned to acting, as far as I know.
Speaking of unhappy, how unhappy was Trip when Phlox's wife was trying to get?
Oh
Okay.
yes.
So that's stigma.
That's stigma. Yeah.
That's stigma.
Yeah.
Okay, why? The most important question for me is why. And Phlox has the same thing. Like when they smile, the Denobulans turn into
yeah.
Joker from
Is that
Batman.
like a CGI thing?
It is a CG. I love it.
I love it. too.
Joker
It's
from
great.
Batman. It's like so
It's
she's
so creepy.
Yeah.
super creepy.
I love
Right.
the Denobulans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the story is. Do you know the story?
No, you go.
They're receiving a shipment of like new fancy microscopes or something.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Enterprise is getting one of them, and then maybe they're going to deliver the others elsewhere. I'm not even really sure. And so the person who is the expert at the fancy microscopes is Phlox's wife. I forget her name.
Oh, I wrote it down.
Fuzzy.
Fazak.
I forget. It's a weird name.
It's Fazak.
I'm gonna say Fuzzy.
Okay.
And immediately.
Sorry, Fez.
That's
Feazal.
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 Immediately she's like from first contact when she steps on the ship, she's effing
Yeah.
Trip.
And very handsy.
Very
Very
Handsy.
handsy.
Were we talking about handsing before?
Yeah. Different. A little bit
Little
different, but yeah.
Close though.
She was very subtle
My
in her
my
advances.
my
No, she was
favorite
not.
line. She's like, "You can pull it out now.
The stream should be initiated.
That whole scene.
Trip's hands are starting to shake.
It's so funny too because he's like, because they're supposedly going through this whole thing where it's like a technical process of like how to build and tweak the microscope or whatever, and it's like the actions that they actually do are so it's like pick up the black thing, put it on here, give it a half a twist.
Yeah, it's really,
And, like
really
pick
scientific.
up the skinny rod and stick it in the thing. And it's like okay, you're done.
They're sticking things in places.
But the dialogue that as they're talking it through with all this innuendos
Yeah.
just sold the scene and just made it so funny.
And he's so uncomfortable.
And he's so uncomfortable.
Because he's into it, but he doesn't know if it's cool. And then he has to have a talk with Phlox
Right.
and be like, what's the deal
Who
here?
then says, Phlox says to Trip,
Has she offered to give you a rose petal bath yet?
like, with the big, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
Then he's even more creeped out at that point, like,
Yeah.
It's like, what's the matter with you? What do you mean? Don't you like her?
Because denobulins are polyamorous.
So explain that you didn't
Okay,
hear
so
earlier.
he
I love
said
this way of looking
in
at
his
it.
little, like, pod, I guess.
Polypod.
Polypod, there's, like, up to 700 people. Because if he has 3 wives and each of them have 3 or 4 husbands and then they have 3 or 4 wives.
3. I think it's the 3 is the...
It just goes
cultural
on
max,
up
yeah.
until 7. Like he said, there's 700. It's a
It's
lot.
crazy. Can you imagine the drama?
Yeah, they're always
Well,
like
that's-
they do remind me like Phlox and his wife remind me of some of my poly friends in Portland, like the way they talk about
Yeah, they're
their drama, and it's like that's just all consuming poly drama.
It works for the denobulins, though, because they're just... Well, like you said, we're really patient. And so, you know, if a husband and a wife has a spat, I mean, they'll work it out. It might take 10 years, but they'll work it out. Whatever, it's fine. And that's just kind of how they approach everything. So all the other husbands and wives don't really take it personally. It's just kind of normal.
Yeah.
And they go on about their, you know, they're best friends with the other husbands, and like they're just
Right.
kind of like super accepting and like all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Oh, speaking of which, there was an episode we didn't write down, which is where that one girl who's kind of a cameo, not cameo, but like a side character, like has a thing for Phlox. And they like are going to the movies and like she's hitting on him and he's like, what's going on here? And she's like, I like you, and she like kisses him on the cheek.
I don't remember this at all.
Okay, well, we're very well prepared on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I missed
was
that.
that on the list too?
It wasn't on the list.
We need
It
to
just
do better
popped into
by-
my head because Phlox
Yeah.
was uncomfortable with it. He didn't know what to do. But I don't think they like.
Did they?
So what was the dynamic
Did they
between
bang
the
it
two?
out?
Because
Oh,
was
I
there
didn't
something
notice
else that made that inappropriate? Like she was a patient of his, or
I-
something like that? Maybe?
I think what made it inappropriate was he was like, I have like 3 wives, and she's like, oh, that's chill, and he's like, oh,
So yeah, that's the question. Is with if you've got 700 poly partners, is you know, planning her popcorn cheating at that
No,
point?
because we just talked about how Phlox was like, that my wife's right there. Get it.
Oh,
Get it.
yeah,
She wants
no,
it.
you're
we
Get it.
right.
don't know. If,
Which means
well,
casual.
You're right.
Yeah.
That goes out of the
Yeah.
So yeah,
denobulin
they're,
society.
they're not exclusive necessarily.
Right.
It's probably varies by individual, right? How
Right.
adventurous they are or whatever.
So like they can have many appetizers,
But it's
only
accepted.
but only so many.
How was it with that guy you went on the date with, the denobulin?
Besides fat, smelly, and a little oily?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. He wasn't a very good kisser either.
They have really long, denobulins have really long tongues.
Just
That's true.
do they?
Yeah.
Have you seen him when he
Oh,
cleans
oh.
his tongue?
Yeah.
Oh.
The scraping?
Yeah, it comes all the
I've-
way down.
Yeah.
Perhaps I acted hastily.
Yeah.
You
You
better-
missed out.
you
I still
better
got his
Yeah.
number.
Text him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
that's
spaceport
that was
might
a-
still be open.
It was
That-
about a 7-footer,
Oh my-
7-inch.
Oh my!
Sorry.
7 foot.
You are a lesbian.
Whoa! Wow! You like lick the
7-incher.
inside of your skull.
7-incher.
Wow. Yeah. I may have to revisit.
Have you seen their toenails though? They're very gross. and
Feet are so
brown.
gross
Mine
in
are
general.
like that too.
So
Are they?
gross.
Yeah.
They're
They're
not.
just like dark brown.
He has
Yeah,
he has
that's
the
what I'm going for.
softest, girliest feet you've ever seen. It's true.
Who?
Commander
Oh.
Too Far over
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Where we got an OnlyFans going for your feet or what?
Only feet.
Only my
Only
fan.
only feet. Only feet. Only fans.
Okay.
All right.
Orion Girls.
Oh, wait.
Oh, is there more?
It was the best parting line of the episode as Fiesel, his wife, right? She's leaving and Trip's tap danced around trying to avoid her the whole time, and he's like, I even wrote this down. I gotta get back to my warp engine. It's running a little hot, and Fiesel says, I know how it feels.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's it.
Missed opportunity. So why didn't they have Trip? Well, as soon as he got permission from Phlox, why wasn't Trip like, all right, let's do it.
Because she
Let's do it."
squeaked him out.
That's why I like Trip, because he's like more reserved. He's not like such a hog.
He's not gonna plow.
He sticks to his
plow every
No,
field out there.
He just is a simple gentleman.
Wait a minute, but on Ryza,
not a complicated.
He was sleazy.
He was sleazy on Ryza.
He was trying to be.
So he was.
Malcolm's a bad influence.
I think that's the case. I think he was.
I also think he wasn't used to the cougar treatment from Phlox's wife, and sometimes that's scary.
That's true.
Yeah. Was this after he gave birth, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he matured because he had a parental perspective.
Maybe. I think he gave birth and went to Ryza and then
that doesn't work then. Yeah, that doesn't work.
I could be wrong, but
no, I think
he just progresses after he gave birth.
I mean, him giving birth, it was a C-section in sickbay, and I don't know if it really matured him.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so Orion's.
Some people know.
What was the name of the episode?
Orion Slave Girls.
What was that episode called?
So this series, Enterprise also had the most appearances of Orion's slave girls than any other episode. There's like whole storylines with Orion's, some of which are kind of cool. But I want to say the first time is less sexy because like the crew gets captured.
Is it Bound season 4 episode 17?
Bound.
And they break. Yeah, they break out of the Orion prison. That's how he gets the warrant on his head and all that. And then there's some slave girl dancing and whatever. But that's not the one that's the more sexy time is when the Orion girls
get onto the ship.
Yeah. The three sisters or whatever.
And the pheromones. Were they really sisters?
The moans.
The moans.
I think they were.
You don't think they were sisters?
I don't know if they were sisters, but one of them in particular takes a liking to Archer. And that gets pretty steamy.
Yeah, not as steamy as the girl that went after second engineer guy.
So preface by this point, the Trip has gotten sick of T'Pol's hot and cold bullshit.
Yeah, she is. It's so annoying.
Right, and he's like, "That's it. I'm done. I'm out. Me and my blue balls are switching to another ship."
Right.
Yeah.
And so he was training other engineer dude.
Well, I think he had
to take over.
He had gone to Columbia for a while, and then something happened, and he came back.
Yeah.
And so another engineer, the one that I'm talking about,
rando engineer guy,
had been promoted.
Right.
And then Trip comes back and is like, okay, well, I'm only here temporarily, but I'm in charge now. And so then they have this whole dynamic, which comes to a head because the Orion girl pheromones are
the moans.
The moans. But they don't affect Trip.
Right.
Which is interesting. Right. Or T'Pol.
Right. Do you remember why?
No.
Do you remember why?
No, I don't remember why.
Okay, so it's because they had bonded.
Oh.
So when they slept together.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just a fling. They actually
bonded
mentally, right?
Whoa, feelings.
And they had been, I want to say in like the episode or two prior. Keep going.
Sorry.
I didn't mean to interrupt. In the episode or two prior, they had been, Paul more so, had been having like visions and like having some issues.
Oh, that's right, because she comes up to him and she's like, have you been daydreaming about me?
Yeah.
This might have also been around the time that she was doing the metal powder drug addiction.
Oh, I forgot about that too. Yeah,
she kind of gets unhinged.
Yeah,
space ketamine.
Space ketamine.
Yeah.
Which I would try.
I don't know, man.
Oh, it does sound kind of gnarly. Yeah, what am I talking about?
We're gonna do a whole other episode on like the illicit.
It's more like meth or something.
It would probably Shit, does it make
space meth?
Space meth?
Yeah, space meth. That's not space ketamine.
It's not nearly as sexy.
Ketamine can be therapeutic.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. Yeah. So it was space meth.
Yeah, space meth.
Space
Which
ice.
I would not try for the record.
No, space ice.
Yeah. Sure.
Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
what else, Chris?
Drugs are bad, okay?
So the pheromones are getting everywhere. Everyone's going crazy. It's
Yeah.
affecting the men and the women,
Yeah.
but in different ways. Like the women are mostly just kind of annoyed.
No, the women were getting headaches.
Yeah,
They're all going to sick bay with headaches.
Typical, isn't it? That we just get some burden.
Man, why didn't we get
and
horny?
the men get their rocks off.
Exactly. Why didn't the women get horny? I don't understand. That just seems
Patriarchy and the writing of Star Trek.
Some bullshit.
Some bullshit.
It would have made it way more interesting if it had been, everybody in the crew except for whatever T'Pol and Trip, or them and whatever other. There's got to be some other couples, right? That have 12.
Yeah.
Right? They would have been.
Other couples on the
Well,
Enterprise?
specifically,
They would have been immune, right?
They worked with those
Yeah.
two because of her Vulcan-ness. So she passed some kind of Vulcan whatever resistance, I guess, into Trip, and so both of them were unaffected. That's the main reason why. Some kind of immunity to the pheromones or whatever.
Yeah, it makes Archer really friendly.
The Archer, hot or not?
Scott Bakula?
Yeah.
As Archer?
Yeah.
In his own way, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's hairy.
Not that hairy.
His chest is really hairy.
It's not that hairy.
It's kind of hairy.
Yeah, but
He's muscular though.
you could shave it.
He's fit.
You can shave him down if you want.
Yeah, just do a
Just
stripe.
a strip down the just a racing stripe.
When Enterprise came out, we had been watching with my goth girlfriend.
Yes,
This might be
yes.
a common theme
Common
in this
theme
show
here,
is me talking
mhm.
about my goth girlfriend, who's currently
Do you-
an artist in Portugal.
Do you stay in touch with her?
Nah, not really.
No?
She's a good person though.
You could
Shout
send-
out to Domini.
Hey, you send her these links.
I know.
Made you famous.
Oh my god, right. So anyways, we had a lot of like TNG and Voyager and Deep Space Nine playing, right? Playing every day. And then Enterprise comes out, right? And we're like, what the fuck is this shit? It probably was the theme song. And we didn't watch it. We were so turned off by it. And then I was like, Scott Bakula from like Quantum Leap, like
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
loved.
I was
Loved
like,
Quantum
man,
Leap.
like it's
So
kind of
good.
lame, and he's kind of lame, and I didn't think I was gonna like it. And even when you told me to watch Enterprise,
me
I was
too.
like, I'm not gonna
Me
like
too.
this. I'm not gonna like Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
I actually liked it a lot, and I liked him a lot. I thought he was excellent as an actor
Yeah.
in the role.
And it was such an interesting period in Starfleet, history.
Yeah.
Where the Vulcans were still calling the shots.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We knew.
It's a good show.
Told you.
There are some things I didn't really. I mean, like the time war and some of that kind of stuff I didn't really like as much. But in fact, the season that we're talking about with the Orion girls, that's when they're trying to solve the Xindi threat, right?
Right.
Oh yeah.
And so that season in particular, Archer is already like pretty aggro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
Like just intense is probably a better word. He's just like intense the whole because
His
he's
nerves
so
are
focused.
fried.
Yeah.
Totally frazzled. Yeah.
And then when the pheromones get a hold of him, he just like almost goes psycho.
Yeah. He goes.
and,
He becomes feral.
But did he actually get laid with the Orion girl?
I don't think so.
Did they do it?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think so.
Oh, how
I know.
frustrating
Second
for
engineer
Archer.
guy definitely did. With
Oh
his
yeah,
girl, yeah.
And that turned him into like just a whiny bitch.
Does Archer ever get laid in the show?
I don't know.
I don't.
I mean, he's got Porthos.
Oh, that's true.
Let's
Poor
not go down
Porthos.
that avenue. A night,
Poor
a night
Porthos.
in sickbay is about the tension between Archer and T'Pol. The sexual tension between Archer
Yeah,
and
that wasn't on our
T'Pol.
list either.
And also, let's fast forward to the end where there's that... Remember that meme I sent you guys where, like, they're tied up together? I forget the episode. And they've got to wriggle their way out.
Oh, that's right,
of being
Archer and
tied up,
T'Pol.
And it's just, like, her boobs in
Her
his
boobs in
face
his
for
face,
so long.
yeah.
And he's so professional about it.
Oh, and they did that actually. Speaking of boobs in the face, Jolene Blaylock definitely she was onto something because in that last episode, where she's teaching him the pressure points and stuff, she gets behind his head in like a cross-legged position and then leans over him, and like literally her breasts are like
And
Over Trip.
and Trips.
bending over bends over him and dangles her sweater puppies.
You said that you would have a threesome with them in
Yes.
a previous conversation.
Yes.
Is that still true?
Yes.
Yeah, I would
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
I would as well.
I would allow Captain Commander Too Far to participate on some subservient level.
I would be subservient.
Sign me up. I like catfish too.
That's different.
No, that's what he said his favorite food was in the magic set. Get your minds out of the gutter. What do you think you're talking about?
Catfished? I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say.
That's why we can't have nice things.
What about the episode with Sim?
Oh, that was
Sim and T'Pol.
so sad.
I don't know if I would call that okay.
They do kiss though.
They do kiss. Do you think off camera it
It was
leads to other things,
was
or
a
do they
pity
immediately
kiss.
show him leaving to go to sick bay? Do you
What
think?
do you mean off camera? What are you talking about off camera?
Okay, well you gotta.
You mean
figure.
like the actual people, the real actors?
So like, no.
Between takes.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if
I
there
mean-
if there's a scene happening and they show a kiss and then they cut to another part of the ship and somebody's talking another part of the story or whatever,
I see.
those people are still there, right?
No, I think he leaves her quarters.
I think
He
he does
does.
too. I think they actually show him.
Yeah,
like,
they
the
don't
kiss
just make
happen.
out and then if they
And then
pan to
cut
something
away.
else,
I
we're
thought the
gonna
kiss
assume
wasn't
they're
until
gonna
right-
bang.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But that's not what
I
happened.
think she only kisses him once,
And then he goes to.
and then he
his
goes
operation.
to die.
Yeah.
It was a pity kiss.
It's a lot sadder than you just portrayed it as.
It was,
Chris.
it was a pity.
It is.
It was a
It
pity
is.
kiss. And Archer, which I guess you were right to reference how he's starting to unravel psychologically because of the whole Zindi thing.
Yeah.
But Archer is so mean to Sim, because he's like, why don't there's this this possible other way that they could save him, and then he didn't have to die because he only lives 15 days. And there was this long shot thing that Dr.
Right.
Phlox could try.
Right.
And Archer's like,
No.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit
No.
about you.
I need my engineer.
You're gonna die like I told you to.
That's right.
It was the first time I had ever seen him act just
Kind of like a dick.
more than that. It was so cold blooded,
Yeah.
so cold blooded. And of course, by that point, everybody on the ship had like fallen in love with Trip 2.
Including me.
Again,
Another
so
crush.
you could have 2 trips at once.
Oh,
It could be.
That's a lot.
It
That's a
might
lot
be
of trip.
fun.
I would be down.
Right? It
Yeah.
might be fun.
I'm exposing a lot on this podcast.
Like, give all my secrets away. Maybe Connor Trinneer will see this.
Actually, I've seen Connor Trinneer now, and I'd like to go back to the 2000 version of Connor Trinneer. Is that rude?
It is
Hey,
rude.
We all get older.
I'd
Not his fault.
I'd still hit a Connor.
Mortality's a bitch.
Yeah, mortality is a bitch. That's right.
Oh, but
Just-
the episode, this is the final episode I have written down to talk about. The
Uh-huh.
episode where I did fall in love with Trip, where I was like, oh my God, Shell. Like, whoa. I think I probably messaged you or something, but Dawn, I forget which season
Was that
it
also
is.
wasn't on the list?
Dawn's right there. It's on the list.
Is now.
It's when Trip gets shot down on an alien planet with also an alien and a ship, and they're like battling
Yeah, we didn't.
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
yeah,
communication thing, and they're just fighting, and he's just like hot and sweaty without a shirt on the whole time.
Yeah, because the planet the planet is it's super hot and getting hotter or something like that,
Yeah.
and they have to stay in the shade.
Yeah.
It's like every show has a version of this kind of an episode where
Yeah. Is that like Darmok and Talad?
Jalad.
it's
Jalad.
the enemy mine episode.
How do you say it? What is
Darmok and Jalad.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Geordi, Crashland was on the planet with the Romulan.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
O'Brien was stuck with the who was O'Brien stuck with?
And Deep Space Nine?
Yeah,
I don't know.
there was
I don't
an
know.
O'Brien
There
episode.
was an O'Brien episode,
I can't remember who he was stuck
but it
with.
was also very reminiscent of Enemy Mine, which is such a good movie.
And then in this one, it was Trip and
Other nameless desert alien
A
person.
reptilian
Yeah.
alien guy.
and they had to build the thing to try to
Yeah.
communicate out or
yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah. I think it was just the
didn't they
sweat.
have to climb the mountain? or
Climbing the
something?
mountain, the sweat, and the heat.
So maybe it isn't just the women that get objectified on Star Trek. It's the men too.
Yeah, Enterprise
Yeah.
ramped it all up
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
and
Right.
that's kind of and I think that's.
No, I mean, yeah.
I wonder if part of that, besides the theme song, hurt Enterprise a bit, because the audience up to that
How so?
point,
Right.
because this is coming out right off the hit, because like that was like, 90s and 2000s was like peak Trek revival.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had, coming off of TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, they all even overlapped a few seasons each, at least a couple seasons each. And then, was Voyager still on when Enterprise started, or did it start right after Voyager ended?
Was there a little overlap, or did I wrong?
We'll have to look it up. I don't remember. But either way, tonally, it was a stark change.
Yeah.
From what everyone had been watching, because they start the opening scene, or one of the opening scenes, with the decontamination chamber.
Yeah. What we're gonna do now, everybody, is we're gonna sing you out with the Star Trek Enterprise theme song.
It's the best Star Trek song that's ever been Star Trekked.
Which most likely hurt the show quite a lot.
No.
Can we say that?
No.
It's quality.
It might have hurt the ratings of the show.
It's quality.
But it's an underrated song.
It's definitely something.
It's definitely a song.
It's definitely a song.
I played this, rehearsing it the other day, and my people on the other side of my duplex cheered after I was done.
Laughing.
It's very inspiring.
It was super inspiring.
Yeah.
You're like, you found somebody that likes it.
I was like, oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I just blasted that. And then
I wonder
she's
if
like,
they knew.
woo! And I was like, oh god.
I wonder if they knew. You have to ask.
Yeah.
I wonder
Do
if
they
they
actually
knew.
know what it's
That
from?
would make it even funnier. If
I'm not going to ask them.
Yeah,
We're
no.
not very close. So,
No.
Yeah.
But this could be a bridge.
It's not
Yeah.
going to be.
Yeah,
No.
it's the bridge. Yeah.
But
It's a new
I'm sure
beginnings.
the writer of this song would hope that it would be.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I wonder if he or she ever worked again.
It's a
Hopefully
he.
not.
It's a he.
And I don't know.
I'm still, my burning question.
Well, we're doing great.
My burning question is still why? Like who
greenlit this?
Who greenlit this
Well, they were
after all the years and years and
Rick
years
Berman.
of tradition?
They were trying to do something
Yeah.
different. Not
They
the
were trying to do something different.
orchestral song. They wanted something trendy, but little did they know that it would get very uncool very fast. Probably
No,
in 10
it's
minutes.
like
it's special.
The first 5 seconds.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just
Faded
admit it.
quickly.
It hits a special place in your heart.
It really does. And so on this, Chris, I'm going to do the verse, and you're going to come in strong on the chorus. I'm not saying I'm not going to sing the chorus, but you're going to come in really strong, and I'm going to fade back on the chorus.
Okay.
Do you know the
Alright.
words?
Because I have faith at the heart.
You might have to scroll down
do you
when
need
we get to
do you
that
need the
part.
words?
Okay. All right, here we go.
All right, we should rehearse
What?
this.
What?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Cold read.
It's been a long road getting from there to here. Are you guys gonna sing?
Wait,
Oh,
we
we're
should
supposed
start
to sing
singing
this
with
too?
you?
Not
Oh, wait.
Jessica.
It's been a long time. Just shout. But my time is finally near. Here. And I will see my dreams come alive at last. I will touch the sky. No, they're not gonna hold me down, change me down my mind. No, they're not gonna change my mind.
Cause I've got faith of the heart. I know I'm gonna where my heart will take me. I've got faith to believe I can do anything.
I've got strength
Of the soul, nothing's gonna bend or break me. I can reach
Something stuff.
any
stars.
I've got faith. I've got faith. Faith of the heart. Faith of the heart. Sun and stuff. And
Nailed it.
We
First
really
That was
nailed
the
that.
best.
That was really good.
so good.
All right.
Aw.
We have a new fan.
Yeah.
We did. Goji's like, please,
Friendly Pitbull
Please.
approves.
See you next time.
Pebble,
Thanks, you guys.
have
Thanks for
faith.
listening.
Faith in your